Now, in our demo series, we mainly focused around what a business analyst does and how can how can we learn about what are the different aspects of the business analyst, okay, both technical and non-technical as well. That learning part on how can we learn, for that we looked at the training program that we at Harsha Trainings is offering to the candidates. Now, while we were discussing that entire training construct, what we said is for the first week of the training program, we will be focusing on the overview of the IT industry. Okay, so we first want to build the knowledge, the basic knowledge around what IT industry is, how it operates or how it works. Okay, what will be the different people that will be present within your team, so that you get some basic idea around how this entire work that you will be going to execute within the IT industry may look like, and that will actually help you prepare well for the work that could be upcoming. Okay. Now, for this overview of the IT industry, today we will start with two basic things. Okay. The first thing is what are the different type of IT companies that are available. Okay. Different industries. You can call them industries as well. The second thing that we will be discussing is pre-project activities. Okay. Now the second part is more for awareness for a business analyst. Okay. As a business analyst, we must be knowing how the work comes to us. Okay. We know how to do the work or how to execute the work once it has come to me. But how did it even arrive or how did it even reach to me as a BA? Okay. That's something we will discuss through pre-project activities. Now, the first part, that is what are the different types of IT companies that are there. Now, broadly, the entire industry is categorized into two parts. Okay. The first one is called the product based companies, and the second one is called as service based companies. Okay. Now, what is product based company? In product based company, what particularly happens is, just to give you an overview, is you identify a problem. Okay. Identify a problem or a goal, or uh, maybe a better way of doing things. Okay. If you take for example how the landscape within India is changing, is we have something called as quick commerce business. Okay, where you can order groceries within 10 minutes. Okay, you can order groceries and a lot of companies are claiming that they can deliver it to you within 10 minutes. Okay. So what they have basically done is they did not identify a problem, but let's say a goal or objective. So either it could be an existing problem, maybe, or it could be a goal of doing things in a better way. Once you identify that, what you do is you build a technical solution around it. Okay. Technical solution in the form of software that can help you automate majority of your tasks so that you can efficiently run your business by taking help of the software. Now, once you have built a solution, built a software, what's the next thing that you do? Okay. You start marketing about the software or the product that you have built. Okay. And then you sell the license for using the product. Okay, you don't sell your product, you only sell the license for using your product. Okay, another example is if you look at or antivirus softwares. Okay, so what happens is we all know that viruses, bugs, worms, or even hacking is very normal in this growing age of internet. Okay, people are obviously worried about hackers stealing their personal information. So nowadays, what happens is if you look at all the organizations, they try to build maximum security around their systems. And one such way is using a paid version of antivirus software. So there is some company that keeps running appropriate security checks, keeps updating their antivirus software to handle any kind of virus that is known to them as of today. Okay, and quarantine that virus. Okay. So what they have done is they have built a product, they spend lot of money on marketing about their product, and whenever anyone wants to buy their product, they give them a license or they sell the license to use the product. Okay. So basically what happens is in this entire life cycle that we discussed, okay, example of a product. In this entire example that we discussed, what is important is the ownership of product, okay, or ownership of the software. It lies with the product based company. So if you take a look at antivirus software, produce it. For example, I think there's McAfee, then there's Kaspersky, okay? And there are numerous other companies that are producing that are actually producing antivirus softwares. Okay, now all these companies, when you pay them money, they only give you a license to use their product. Okay, which means you do not make any ownership of the product. Okay, you are only licensed to use it. Okay, the actual ownership still lies with the company that have given you the license, which means when I have the ownership, I am the only one responsible for making changes, or what we call technically as maintaining the product. Okay, maintaining the product, the entire responsibility lies with me and me only, because I am the owner of the product. Now, when it comes to service-based company, let's do a quick comparison on how the service-based companies actually operate in. So service-based companies, they don't start with identifying a problem, goal, or objective. Their main agenda is to identify clients who are looking to solve a problem, or they have any goal in mind or any objective in mind. Okay? Let's say I want to start a business. I want to start an e-commerce company. I have some good ideas on how to run the e-commerce business, but you know what? I don't want to spend time hiring some IT employees for me. I don't want to give them instructions. I don't want to manage them. I don't want to conduct employee engagement activities for them. I don't want the hassle of maintaining an IT division for me. I want to focus only and only on e-commerce business. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll basically look for companies that can do the entire IT work for me. I want the IT work, but I don't want the hassles that will come along the IT work. So what service based companies do is They look for clients who don't want to do the work themselves. They look for clients who want to delegate or pass on the work. Okay. So as a service based company, what am I looking for? I'm looking for clients. I'm not looking for ideas to build the software. I'm looking for clients, and these clients will give me the idea. Go and build a software for me related to e-commerce. Okay. Now, when I find the client, what will happen is I will work with the client to know their requirements. Okay. Now, based on this requirements, we will build a software for them. Build a software. Okay. Now, once the software is built, who is responsible for marketing? The client. Okay. So, client will do the marketing. Okay. And that's up to the client on how they want to allow others to use the software or not. Okay. As a service based company, my responsibility is to work with client, know what their requirements are, based on their requirements build a software. Now, what happens after we have built the software is up to the client on how they want to utilize that software, whatever we have given them. How they do marketing is also up to them. So in service based company, the ownership of the software that we have built, or what we call as product. Okay. The terms product, software can be used interchangeably within the IT industry. So the ownership of the product lies with the client and not with the service based company. Okay. Since client is paying the IT company to build the software, so the ownership of the product lies with the client and not, as we have seen here, that ownership lies with the product based company. Okay. So owner will be client, but any maintenance, okay, suppose if I want to make some changes, if I want to make any changes to the software, what will happen is I will again ask the IT company, the service based IT company, to do the work for me. Okay. Now, company wise, if you take examples, okay, what kind of companies are involved in the product based space and what kind of companies are involved in service based space. So, companies like Meta or Facebook, Google, okay, Microsoft, PayPal, okay. There are other payment services based companies like in India, if you see MobiQuick, Razorpay. So these are multiple examples of companies that are building a product and then they are selling their product to the customers. Okay. Then, if you want to have some examples of IT companies, companies like Accenture, TCS, Infosys, HCL, and there will be numerous mid-scale and small-scale companies as well. That what they are looking for is they will just hire a bunch of talented employees, and then they will use the employees to actually solve the problems of clients. Okay, so they will identify clients who are looking for some type of software, and then they will ask their employees to build the software for that particular client. Okay, so all they do is they ensure that there is some client who is looking for some type of work. Okay. So product based companies, they build a product, they maintain that product by themselves, they are responsible for selling the product to the customers. Okay. Generally product based companies will target retail customers like you and me. Okay. Service based companies, they target they target enterprise organizations. Okay, so they are like competing. Even product based companies can also target enterprise organizations. It's not that they cannot, but generally, if you see, their user base will mainly be retail customers. When I say retail customers, that is nothing but individual customers like you and me, or it could be enterprises as well. Okay, large organizations. For service based companies, generally the user base is enterprise organizations only. If I have to, if I'm looking for any individual customers, it is difficult that an individual customers can pay so much money basically to come to service based companies to build a software. Okay, if I have to get some software individually, maybe I'll ask my friend to do it for me, so that my friend will not ask for a lot of money. If I approach any service based company, they will probably ask for millions of dollars from me to build the software for me. So that's why the target user base is slightly different when it comes to both product based companies and for service based companies. Now when you start working as a BA, you could either land into a product based company, or you could either land into a service based company. Okay, now, the on ground work may differ slightly in terms of user interactions. Okay. So, for example, when it comes to product based company, as a BA, you may be interacting with lot of people within your organization. In service based company, you will mainly be interacting with your clients. Okay. On top of interacting with people within your organization, you will be interacting with lot of clients as well. Okay, so the work wise there could be slight differences. There will not be major differences in terms of what BA does, whether you are in product based company or whether you are in service based company. Okay, but broadly you must understand that what type of work you could land into. Okay, it could be either company driven work, like product based company, where they themselves are trying to identify what should happen next, or it could be client driven work, as in the case of service based companies. Okay, now let's move on to the next topic. But before we move on to the next topic, I would like to pause here, see if there are any questions from you guys. Okay, I'll take the silence as no questions. So let's move forward. Now, what are these pre-project activities? Okay. Now, generally, we keep telling ourselves, and even during the demo series, when I was interacting with other participants, they all said that BA is responsible for talking to client and getting requirements from the client. Okay. Now, how does this client even come into picture? Who is responsible for identifying clients? Who will deal with the client? Who will sign contracts with the client? Okay. So we must get answers to these questions before we actually start doing the work of a BA. Okay. This is just to make you aware of the industry processes, so that when you jump into industry, you have some idea around how it works or how it operates. Okay, so that background will help you build a good knowledge over it. Okay, so whenever we have to construct a building, what we will do, or construct a house, we always lay down foundations. Okay, a good foundation will result in a good strong building or a house. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do here. So when it comes to pre-project activities, okay, it basically consists of set of tasks that take place before the work is started by, let's say, a business analyst. Or the better way will be before the work execution begins. So basically it will have set of tasks like identifying clients, okay, understanding their needs, okay, contract negotiations, and ultimately signing the contracts with the client on what work is needed. Okay, now this entire set of activity is usually carried out by sales and marketing team. Okay, they both may work in tandem or with each other, where marketing team will try to build a good brand, good name, okay, image for the organization, so that sales team can go and convince others to work with us. Okay, so sales and marketing team and not a business analyst will be responsible for bringing in new clients. Okay, so for bringing in new clients, sales and marketing team will be responsible. Okay, so let's say we are doing all this so that we can bring in new clients. Okay, once you have brought in new clients, then the people that are involved, people from the IT company, IT company that are working on the project, these guys are responsible for maintaining the client. Okay, so for in order to bring in new clients, my sales and marketing team will do the hard work. When the client comes to us, when they are ready to work with us, okay, then it is duty of my current team members, including business analysts, to ensure that client is happy, client is satisfied with the work we are doing, so that they can continue to work with us. Okay, in case if we are not doing proper work, if we are delaying the work for the client, then obviously client will not be happy. In such cases, client may decide to leave and work with some other IT company. Okay, and that will not be a good sign. If client leaves the IT company, okay, because of my incompetency, then what will happen is it will somewhere affect my future growth as well. Okay. Now, what are the different tasks that sales and marketing team will undertake in order to onboard new clients onto or identify new clients? Okay, so a lot of this is actually driven through contacts. Okay, now a sales and marketing team will be maintaining lot of contacts, and that's why sales and marketing is a high risk job but high reward job as well. Okay, if you do it efficiently, there will be high rewards. If something goes wrong, there's a risk of losing job at regular instances as well. Okay, so in sales and marketing, it is all contacts driven. Okay, if you have better connects and contacts, you can obviously influence the work. Okay? If you don't have contacts, it is difficult to approach someone and then convince them to give the work to you. Okay, it may happen, but it may not happen that often. Most of the time the work is given through contacts and connections only. Okay. Now, what will be the different steps that are involved in this pre-project activity? So the first step is called as request for information, okay, or it is abbreviated as RFI. Okay. The second step is called as request for proposal, or what we call as RFP. Okay. The third step is request for quotation, or RFQ. Okay. And the fourth step is then signing the contract. Okay. One by one, we will go through these four steps. So, what is RFI, or request for information? Okay. So, this generally signifies that, okay, there is an idea against which a software is needed. Okay. So let's say I'm a client and I have an idea that let's say I'm working on I have a small let's say supermarket shop. Okay. I have 10 supermarket shops right across the city where I'm living currently. Okay. And I'm doing all the work manually, but I don't want this manual work anymore. I want to have a software that can help me manage inventory for my supermarket stores. Okay. That can also help with billing as well, and that can also help with payment as well. Okay. So I'm looking for a software that can help me with inventory management, billing, and payments for my current supermarket stores. I have 10 supermarket stores in the city I'm currently living in. Okay. So I have an idea, that is, I have the business, and for that business I'm looking for a software. Okay. So at this point in time, generally the client will contact, or what we say, client will connect with sales and marketing team. Okay. Now these sales and marketing team, they will request for more information from client. Okay. If they have any doubts, questions, because the sales and marketing team must be absolutely clear with what the client demands. Okay. They are not going to ask in detail what your requirements are, but at a very high level, what is it that you want, what is it that you are looking for, what type of business are you in. Okay. What kind of products are you selling. Okay. So they will try to connect with the sales and marketing team, and sales and marketing team will request for information so that they can accordingly give clients a solution. Okay. So the first step is actually collecting information, wherein client and sales marketing team will connect with each other. Sales and marketing team will try to collect more and more information from the client about what kind of products and services are they looking for. Okay. Now now comes the second part, which is RFP. Okay. So once sales and marketing team has identified what the client is looking for, they will build a proposal. Okay. Sales and marketing will build a proposal for the client. Okay. Usually this proposal, what it will have is, okay, usually what will be in that proposal is like overview of the company they represent. Okay. Suppose if I work for TCS, if I work for Facebook, what wherever I'm working, overview of that company, what that company is. Okay. Past projects of that company. Okay. Any past projects that similar line of projects. Okay, I don't want to tell them about other projects that I might have worked. If I have worked on similar project, like currently in this example of supermarket store inventory management, if I have worked anything similar in the past, I will try to highlight that work also, so that client feels that I have experience as well in this domain. Then feedback from previous customers, feedback from, sorry, previous clients, generally all good feedback. So feedbacks are used to build that trust that I have worked with other clients as well, and they have given me very good feedback for my work. Then solution and timelines. Okay, whatever work I'm doing, eventually, how am I going to do that? Okay, what will be my solution? Maybe I don't have to explain them the technical design or the requirement, but just a high level solution, that maybe I will use AI powered some software which can help me design a billing software for you. For vendor management, I will build a website for you. In that website, you'll just have to scan the QR code on the product and it will keep adding it to your inventory. You can also manually add the products. Okay, like that I'll try to give you a solution. Okay, it's purely at a very high level on what the solution is, and some timelines around how to achieve that solution. Maybe this entire solution will be implemented in 1 year. Okay, so what will be the solution and what will be the timeline for that solution? Okay. Remember, at this point, when we are talking about the proposal, we are not talking about the money involved. Okay. So whenever client interacts, normally they will interact with 4 to 5 companies. Okay. Let's say they are interacting with 4 companies. Okay. All these 4 companies will submit RFP. Okay. Out of those 4 companies, client will evaluate their proposal. Okay. And most likely client will shortlist. Okay. So out of 4 companies, let's say client has shortlisted two. Client shortlisted 2 companies. Now these companies that are shortlisted, they will be asked or requested for quotation. So client will now request for quotation. Quotation is nothing but, let's talk about money now. Okay. So client will ask for quotation. Remember, when you go to buy any mobile phone to a shop, what happens is the shopkeeper will usually ask for your budget, and the shopkeeper will also ask for what type of phone are you looking for. Okay, based on that, the shopkeeper will show you a variety of phones with all the good features in it, and then let you decide or let you pick one. Okay, only when you are able to decide something on where, or when you are leaning towards something, then the shopkeeper will ask about the price. You will not start with the price at the first place itself. Okay. So the next step is, for the shortlisted company, client will ask for quotation. Now the shortlisted companies can provide quotation in two forms. Okay. One is called fixed fee. Okay. And the second one is called time and money. Okay. Or what we call as in short form T&M, or it is also called as resource based billing. So in fixed fee, what will happen is, generally the IT company will say that I will charge you 1 million US dollar and I'll do the work for you. Okay. So here you have already said, let's say you will take 1 year. Okay. So you will repeat the same thing. take 1 million, I'll charge you $1 million, and I will finish the work in 1 year. Okay, that is for development, for building that software for you, not for maintaining the software. So the fixed fee part actually allows, is the option where IT companies will give you a fixed cost. Okay? That this is how much I will charge you for building that software. Okay? Now you don't have to worry about how many people will I hire. It's all my headache whether I hire 1%, 10%, or 100% to do the job. Okay? I will take care of hiring, I will take care of work execution, I'll take care of everything. You just pay me $1 million and we are done. Okay, I will give you the software. The second is time and money or resource based billing. In this, what will happen is, the company, the IT company will not tell client the final amount directly. What they will say is, I will have a BA. For BA, I will be charging, let's say, $25 per hour. Okay. I may have some other people, let's say I'll have an architect. For architect, I'll be charging, let's say, $30 per hour. I can have some bunch of people who will do the coding for me. So let's call them developer, and I will charge uh, $25 per hour for developer as well. Then there will be tester also, and I'll be charging, let's say, $15 per hour for tester. Okay. So I'll be employing different people, and this is the billing rate for every person that will be involved in the project. Okay, so you don't give them a final amount, you tell them about how much are you going to charge for every person that is employed in the project. Okay, now generally for building software, this fixed fee project is considerable. Okay, and the resource based is good for maintaining software. So if I have to maintain an existing software, time and money or resource based billing is good option. But sometimes what will happen is, my client may hire a project manager themselves. Okay, client may say that I have a project manager who can handle work allocation, resource allocation, and everything by their own. Okay, so I want to go for time and money option because I have a project manager. They will they will monitor how many BAs you have, whether we actually need those many BAs or not, how many architects, developers, tester you have. Okay, so they will monitor everything, and because they are going to monitor everything, so I am quite confident that they will help me save money as well. Okay. Generally, what clients will do is, if they want to build a brand new software, they will go for fixed fee because they don't want to hire a project manager and then ask them to do, tracking in between. Okay. Just give the work to the IT company and let them deliver. If it is maintenance type of work, or if it is, I have a project manager with me at client location, then generally clients will go for time and money or resource based billing option. Okay, where they want to see how much are you going to charge for every individual that you will be supplying to me for doing the work. Okay, so in either case, whether you can go for fixed fee or time and money, what will happen is, after reviewing the quotation, client will finalize. Okay. Okay, so after reviewing the quotation, now client has to finalize the IT company to which they are going to work with. Okay, and that's where the last part will come into picture, that is signing the contract. Now, at this point in time where client is finalizing, please note it is not mandatory to work with only one company. Okay? Sometimes what large clients will do is they will give one part of the work to one company, they will give another part to a different company. Okay? So multiple companies will work together for the same client. Okay? So it is very much possible that maybe I'm getting better deal with one client on developing code. Maybe I have more trust in testing, on executing testing activities with another IT company. Maybe I want to do the testing work with Cognizant. Maybe TCS is good in writing code, so I'll give the coding work to TCS. I'll give the testing work to Cognizant. Okay. So like that, I can split the work between multiple teams as well. I am the client. I can get to decide what I want. Okay. So it is not mandatory that client has to finalize only one company to work with. Client can finalize multiple companies. Usually they don't go beyond two companies because it becomes difficult to manage as well. It becomes an overhead. So ideal situations, client will work with only one company. Okay, but in some instances they may work with two to three companies as well. Okay, but they don't want to go beyond two to three companies because it will be difficult to manage for client as well. Okay. Now the last part is, once you have finalized the IT company, is actually to sign the contract. Okay. So the contract will basically highlight the parties or the people involved. Okay. Then what type of work needs to be done. Okay. Then the timeline of the work. Then place of work, if it is if it is geography dependent, where exactly the work should take place. Okay. Then what should happen, any legal consequences of not delivering work. Okay. Then termination of contract, when the contract could be terminated. Okay. So a contract will cover all these detailed part. What type of work needs to be done, who all are signing the contract. Okay, what will be the timeline of the contract, where exactly the work will take place, what will happen if any of the party backs out, how can the contract be terminated. Okay. Is there any way of legally going for any legal procedures if one of the party fails to deliver on the contract. So all these part will be covered and signed to what we call as technically SOW. Okay, which stands for statement of work. Okay. So you in IT you will hear about SOW a lot. Okay. It is, people will be saying like it is not mentioned in SOW, it is not part of SOW. Or even when you have to travel overseas, okay, to visit your client in person, generally the client the sorry the nation where the client is located, that nation will ask you for the SOW again, that show me the SOW which highlights that you have a contract or a deal with this particular client, and then only I'll allow you to travel in my country. Okay. So this SOW or statement of work is the legal binding contract between IT company and the client. Okay. Generally, the parties or the people involved here will be the IT company and the client. Okay. So they will be responsible for signing the SOW. Once the SOW is signed, that means the statement of work has been signed by both the parties. They have agreed and signed. Then the last part comes in, then it comes as a SOW signed, and then it comes as a project for execution. Okay. And that is where now different people like BA, developer, tester, project manager, scrum master, they will get involved. Okay, till this part, okay, till signing SOW, these people were not involved. Okay, they only get involved once the SOW is signed and now it has come as a project for execution. Okay. Now the teams will get involved. They will try to work with client, because till now here we have high level solution. Now what we want is, we want to derive actual requirements from the client. We want to know exactly what they want so that we can build a proper software for them. Okay, so the actual work begins over here, the software building work. Okay, till now we are just trying to sign a contract with the client. Once the contract is signed, then the actual work begins after that. So any questions so far?
So solution and timeline would be provided by product manager, is it, or the marketing team?
Yes, marketing team. Once the contract is signed, again there will be high level analysis that will be performed. Okay, that high level analysis will be taken up by product managers, product owners. Mostly it will be product managers. So they want to have a high level vision of what the client wants. Okay, so based on that, let's create a vision for it. Okay, so maybe I'll give you some work in 3 months, then another piece of work in next 3 months, then another piece of work in 3 months. Okay, so they will work with client to identify the priorities, what type of work they need exactly. Okay, and once all that is done, they will also provide an estimate, a rough estimate, yeah, about whatever your expectations are, whether they can be fulfilled within the timeline or not. Sometimes it may happen that maybe during the initial discussion you said, I'll give you the entire work in 1 year. Maybe it took 1 or 2 months to sign the contract. In that 1 or 2 months, your requirements have changed or they have evolved, and you want some more things to be included, which cannot be done in 1 year. So the product managers will come in at this point to do a high level analysis of whether everything still holds good or not. Okay, so they are responsible for talking to client, getting the requirements or features they want, creating a vision for the software on what are we going to deliver, when are we going to deliver, what all features has to be in the software, how those features will interact with each other. Okay, so the high level solutioning will be done by them, and then will be passed on to BA for actual execution of the work.
Okay, because like initially they might say yes, then it shouldn't happen. That later on they're not able to build the project. I think that's the reason they involve high level product managers, I guess.
Yes, yes. So they just
Okay, okay.
understand from the client first what you still need. Has your requirements evolved over time? Again, they are not doing a technical requirement gathering session or anything. Still, what they want to know is whether your requirements, what kind of features are you looking for, how those features will be connected to each other. Okay, how are we going to start, I mean, what will be the starting point of your software and what will be the ending point of your software. So once I know all that, and in between the starting and ending, what should be the different features, which feature is more important to you, which feature is less important to you, accordingly create a timeline or a vision for the product, that in first 4 months we will do this, then in next 4 months we will do this. Okay, so once you have identified features and timelines, like maybe month wise or quarter wise, then you give it to BA that these are the features we want, and these are the timelines we have. And BA will try to ensure that I get detailed requirement now. So you can say that I want login feature in 2 months. Okay, so you will just talk about the feature. Now how will actually customers log in? Okay, what will be the steps involved for login process? Now that requirement will be collected by BA. Okay, so as a product manager, you are not worried about the exact requirement or instructions, but the high level idea of what needs to be done, so that you can explain to your BA that what exactly is the work, what exactly is the process involved, and with that background and idea, BA can go back and collect and work with client to collect detailed requirements.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you.
So any other questions?
I'm good.
Okay, in that case, we don't have any questions, so we'll end our discussion for today. We'll meet tomorrow at 8 a.m. again and continue with our next topic, wherein we'll try to understand few of the generally used industry terms. So what are some of the common terms used and what is meant by those terms? Thank you.
Okay, thank